All right, folks. Getting ready to put my van up on eBay. What I like to do every time before I sell one of my cars is make a walk-around video of it. So that's what I'm going to do here and kind of show you everything I know around the car, take you through the outside, take you through the interior, and give you some details on it. This is a 1967 Ford Econoline. One of the coolest vans you're ever going to see, and probably one of the coolest cars you'll ever see. You know, you take it to a car show, there's a bunch of Pro Touring Camaros and Chevelles, and you park this next to them, and everybody comes to this thing. And there's a reason for it. They're rare, they're fun to drive, they're fun to own. Yeah, they're pretty cool vans. So a little bit about myself. I am a collector. I'm a builder, a hobbyist, and a licensed dealer. Basically, I'm just a dealer, so I can sell my own cars. All the cars that I sell on eBay are owned by me. They're driven by me, maintained by me. Any technical information you need to know, I will be able to tell you that. It's not some random dealer who doesn't know anything about what they're selling. I'm very passionate about what I do, and pretty much sell all my cars on eBay. So yeah, you get the benefit of having a licensed dealer, the surety and safety from it, but you also get someone who's driven the cars and can tell you quite a bit about it. So with that said, enough of me rambling, I'll begin the walk around here. Or actually, I'll give you a little history on this car. This has a little over 10,000 miles on it. It was a complete restoration. The entire body was sandblasted, taken off, completely sandblasted, painted, and restored. The engine is completely rebuilt. It has everything on the van has a little over 10,000 miles. So the engine, transmission, the rear end was rebuilt, all the brakes were rebuilt, the master cylinder, the power steering box, and a lot of these parts, like the power steering box and the master cylinder, are difficult, especially on this car, to find. This one had to be rebuilt, the master cylinder, and it was $600 to rebuild it because it was a one-off year master cylinder. So basically, every component on it has, just over 10,000 miles, and it runs perfectly. Mechanically, it is flawless. There are no issues mechanically with this. It is turnkey, ready to drive. I would drive this anywhere without hesitation. It's probably one of the most reliable vehicles you'll ever come across. Has the Ford 300 cubic inch inline six, an absolutely legendary engine if you're familiar with the Ford 300. I'm not a big Ford guy myself when it comes to power plants, more of a GM guy, V8s and stuff like that. But when it comes to inline sixes, the Ford 300 is the mother of all engines. If you go on any website and say, what are the top 10 engines ever made, the Ford 300 is going to pop up on it. And being an inline six, runs extremely smooth. They're very well-balanced engines, plenty of torque, plenty of horsepower. This engine is a 1972 model, Ford 300. I'd have to look up the torque. I think it's 260 foot-pounds of torque. This is more powerful than a lot of 289s that people stuff into these things, and considerably less heat generated too, and a lot more room in the doghouse if any repairs were ever to be needed. So yeah, it's a full restoration. It's a base coat, clear coat. It's not perfect, but it's extremely nice. I would call this a very nice driver quality. You could say it's a show van. I've had a lot of people say, oh my God, it's flawless. But to me, it's in the perfect condition because it's extremely nice, but yet you can still take it out and drive it and have fun with it. That's what it's meant to do, is be taken out and driven. There's pinstriping along the, I have my camera flashlight on here. A nice kind of tan colored pinstripe goes all the way down the side there. There's also some pinstriping right here, which is in a grayish green color. And that tan comes all the way down here, all the way comes across, and there's a light gray, if you can see on the bottom there. It's like a greenish gray. It's extremely subtle, but it goes perfectly with the van. All the glass is in excellent condition. There's no cracks. All the weather stripping for every window was replaced when it was restored. Some more pinstriping behind the rear window here. Now when I say, okay, this van's not perfect, why is it not perfect? There are, things like the bumper. That bumper is an all original bumper. It has survived this many years. But if you look up close, it's not perfect. Same thing with the grille. It's not perfect. The headlight molding, if you wanted to buff it out for hours, you could definitely spruce it up a little. There was a paint peel spot right here. You can't really see it. It's right on this line. You see where the paint has started to lift right here? It's a small spot, and this was extremely common on these vans because of how they did the seams on them. So there's a paint peel spot. It's not peeling, but it just lifted a little bit. It should stay fine just the way it is. You don't even notice it. I know about it, but I want to point out everything on the vehicle that you might want to know. There's another spot where that's started to happen right here on the same seam. I don't know if you can tell, right? Yeah, you can kind of see the waviness in here. Again, this whole car was sandblasted. It's a rust-free van, so you have nothing to worry about, but that was the Ford Econoline and its wonderful seams. All the body gaps and door gaps are really nice. See, you have a little rust in the hinges, and that's going to happen. It's not absolutely perfect. It's just the perfect van for going out and driving, and you take it to your local show every now and then. The number of people that will come up to you will amaze you. But anyways, I always go off on tangents. You'll notice that. Here's a little. That should come off. I'm not going to clean that. So all the door gaps are very nice and uniform. I'll kind of go through them here. All the doors line up flush with the body. Big pet peeve of mine when doors stick out. They close like they should. And I've had this van out camping. I'll put a little video. I made a video when I went camping in it. I've taken it to the beach a few times. I probably have myself about 1,500 miles on it myself. So I try to drive all my cars as much as possible. This one's probably one of the most fun ones I've had in a long time. These doors. Lock. Down opens it. All open and closed just like they should. Take you to the inside here. That unlocks like that. So here's the inside. You've got this wood paneling. Again, it's not perfect. You've got some scratches here, but that's going to happen. You should use this van. Whoever buys this should use it and drive it. That's what it was made for. On the wheel wells, you've got some scuffs right on the wheel wells. And if you'll notice, the wheel wells are kind of in a flat finish. Same thing with on the inside of the lower door jambs on the front doors. So you have your spare tire back here, wood paneling on the rear, wood paneling all around. The doghouse has some scratches here on it. All the carpet and upholstery I had done by my upholster. I have a piece of residential carpet, which I think is in my video that I showed you when I took it camping, that goes over this. so that way when you want to throw as much stuff in the back, you can. So I had my upholster carpet underneath the seats. This carpet here and the carpet in front is glued to the floor, but this entire piece is not, and I didn't want it to be. So you can peel that back and take it out. It's got foam underneath it, and it's all body color underneath that. So that way you can take out this wonderful carpet here, and you know, if you want to get some lumber or go camping or, you know, do whatever without destroying this carpet, there you go. Headliner is in this nice plaid, brown plaid pattern. It's got a nice foam to it, nice texture to it. Seats are all brand new upholstery. There's the doors here. Pulls up to lock. This goes in. That locks it. I've owned probably 427 cars. This is probably in the top 5 of, maybe top 10, top 5 or 10 of drivability, reliability. It is so tight. The suspension is extremely tight. The power, you can pass cars with this thing. It has a lot of power. As you know, these did not come with the Ford 300. They came with a much smaller engine in them. What was it? The 164, I can't remember what it was. But they weren't very fast. This one is. It is very quick. You can merge onto any freeway. You can cruise at 70 miles an hour on this thing. You don't get any wheel shake. The brakes are tight. The steering is tight. You don't get any wobble. I can drive this one hand down the freeway. You have your classic instruments gauges. This panel is also a lighter green, if you'll notice. The two. Why? I'm not sure. Maybe just to contrast it. Couldn't tell you. When I purchased this from the individual that did the restoration, I didn't ask him on. I had a lot of questions for him, but I did not ask him on that. But these are extremely expensive instruments, and they all work exactly like they should. The speedo is dead on accurate. It's very smooth. It doesn't jump around. As you know, these were a mechanical speedo. The fuel gauge is accurate. The temp gauge is accurate. Good oil pressure. The radio does work with the speaker in the center. Don't pick up any channels with it, but it does work. You have your Ford C4 automatic transmission. So here's the dome lights. They work right off your light switch here. Turn on and off. It's all that little stuff that I'm telling you, a lot of these cars on eBay are mostly misadvertised. You're going to see a lot of other vehicles where these sellers claim, oh, it's a nut and bolt restoration, you know, and these dealers, the dealers are the ones that lie the most. They don't make walk-around videos, and they tell you only what you want to hear. They don't go and show you all the little details. But most of those cars that people are selling out there, I'd say 80% of them are not what they're advertised as. But it's all that little stuff. For instance, these dome lights, you know, that can be an expensive fix if you don't know how to do wiring. You buy a car and none of that stuff works, you know. The horn. Everything works. Your backlighting for the gauges. I don't know if you can see it. That all works. Your headlights work like they should. All the window channels and window felts and window seals are new. This is my little man cave shop, so it's a mess right now. There's a little button on here. This is your air conditioning right here. Vent window right there. That's full AC. All those seals are new and extremely smooth. No squeaking. Comes right back into place. Locks down. The windows roll up nice and smooth, just like they should. And on the way down. That's a Jeep project I'm working on. Just disregard it. It's a piece of garbage at the moment. It's going to be an extremely nice show car in 2 months. Let's go through some other things here. The heater works. You've also got 2 little vents here if you want some air in your feet. You've got a vent here that comes through. It feels really nice when it's hot out. That locks in there. Same thing on the other side. There's a little flap on the heater box there. Let's see here. Your seats slide front and back. I can't do it with one hand while filming, but the seats slide front to back. You have lap belts. Open the doghouse here. Doghouse pops open. Here's your big old inline 6. It's got a regular fan on the front that's hooked up to the pulley system, and it has an electric, or that's on the back, and an electric pusher fan on the front, which is controlled by this. You can turn off the fan and turn it on. I always keep it on. It kicks on at about 170. That fan will kick on. These engine compartments did not get a lot of air. Most radiators are up front on the grill. These are obviously radiators not by the grill. So it's nice to have that electric fan to get some airflow in here. The writing you're seeing right here is just the lower and the upper radiator hose part numbers. All right, I'm gonna set my phone down, close this up. Here's your choke. Right here is your choke for those cold morning starts. Here's your e-brake. That pulls up, works exactly like it should. You twist the handle and it drops down. So you just twist and there's your e-brake. Turns off. You have a 12-volt accessory port here with 2 USBs. Plug your phone in. Trying to think of anything else. These things are pretty simple, but I can't understate how smoothly this drives. It is an absolute blast. Actually, let me start it up. So you can hear the fan kick on. That's the electric fan. Or, excuse me, that is not the electric fan. That is the transmission cooler. That automatically comes on. And we're up and running. Sounds like a sewing machine. No valves ticking, no rattles, no squeaks. And they hit the throttle. I don't know if you can hear it. Let me prop this up and I'll give it some revs. So there you go. Runs absolutely flawlessly. Like I said, the engine, transmission, everything only has a little over 10,000 miles on it. I think that pretty much sums it up. Oh, let me open the back doors. These open just like they should. So there you go. Wood panels on the back. And then again, this rear bumper, you know, it's showing some age. It's an original rear bumper. This is a 67 Ford Econoline. They don't make magazines full of reproduction parts like Chevelles and Camaros. And that's why you will not see very many full window vans even for sale. They're hard to restore. Most of them sat in fields and rusted out, were not taken care of. The ones that even do come up for sale, sometimes they're not even that great of quality, and the drivetrains are suspect. Let's put it that way. People putting V8s in these things, thinking they're going to the racetrack or something. You have, I think I already showed the pinstriping on the rear here. So there you have it. All the tires are brand new. Those do not have 10,000 miles on them. Those have about 2,000 miles on them, the tires. There's your Ford center cap, color matched. Trying to think of anything else. Again, if I wanted to go over this with a fine tooth comb, you know, you can always find little stuff. It's but overall, you know, it's a beautiful van, beautiful restoration. If you look down the side of it, super straight, all professional body work. The guy who did the restoration owned a body shop. So there you go. I'm going to keep driving this thing while it's for sale. The mileage is going to go up. I'm out here in Oregon. It's been sunny all summer. I'll probably drive it 2 or 3 times a week until it sells. I absolutely love this thing. You know, take my wife out in it. We have fun. A couple of dogs. We take the carpet out, put them in the back. An absolute blast to drive, something you can take your whole family in. As you know, the Econolines came with 2 rear seats. If you can find some, those would be easy to install if you wanted to. I like it open like that because it suits me much better. So anyways, I'll put this up on eBay, and you know, I'll see where the auction takes it. You are welcome, and you know, it's a first come, first served basis. So I'm going to put my number up there. Actually, it's 503-476-5210. But, you know, if you are interested in purchasing this before the auction ends, give me a call. Give me a call. See if we can work something out. I have a couple fleet shipping accounts. I've shipped cars all over the world. I'll get it shipped right to your doorstep. I'll handle the arrangements on that. I have a clean title in hand for it. Trying to think. If you have any questions on anything, eBay message me, text me, or call me. If you want pictures of anything, I will send them to you. If you want a video, I will send it to you. I will do everything I can to make it so you know exactly what you're getting. When this shows up at your doorstep, you already know what you're getting. That's what I try to do with all my cars. I know everyone says it, but I'm one of the few honest people left, and I try to be, you know, as honest as I can. Like I said, you know, I'm calling this an 8. Some people might call it a 7. Some people might call it a 10, and that's where that disconnect comes from sometimes. So I try to be as straightforward as I can. I'd say the overall van's an 8. Everything works on it again, top to bottom. All the gauges, instruments. Drives flawlessly. Anywhere you want to go, it will go. So there you go. Give me an eBay message, give me a call, give me a text, see if we can work out a price. If it goes to the end of the auction, awesome. High bidder gets it. Once the reserve is met on eBay, I will not sell it outside of eBay. So I will let the auction run its course. If the reserve has not been met yet, give me a call. We can work out a price. I'll get it shipped to your door. You're welcome to fly out here and test drive it. You're welcome to have an inspector come and look at it. Anything you want to make sure you're comfortable with the transaction. I know how it is with online sales. That's why I make a video. So again, 503-476-5210, and thanks for watching the video.